Hello and welcome to another exciting episode of Way of the Brush with me, your host Kris, aka the Name Butcher, aka Hey You Get Off My Lawn, aka Kris, you're being creepy again. Way of the Brush, the most informative 120 minutes on the internet on the wargaming lifestyle. We'll talk about painting, terrain, conversions, and just about everything under the sun. We do a lot of painting talk as well as a lot of what's under the sun, meaning no topics are barred. We'll talk about anything and everything. So, be warned. Of course, if you're watching this live, you can ask your questions in the chat, whichever direction it might be in for you. And if you're watching this after the fact, you can submit your questions to Kris at wayofthebrush.com. If you're going to send pictures, send them as attachments in the email. Don't send it off as links to other sites because it just won't do it. It's annoying and, pain in my ass. It's a pain. Right in the old keister. Keister? Anyway. It's in the description below, as well as a link to wayofthebrush.com. Central hub of all this has the links to all the social medias, as well as Discord. Join us on Discord. It's a lot of fun. We keep the conversation rolling 24/7 there. And so, join us on Discord. It's a lot of fun. And of course, you'll also find a link for t-shirts. And if you're watching this on YouTube, you'll see it down below as well. T-shirts. You want to help support the channel, help me continue to do what it is that I do, get a t-shirt. And of course, if you purchase yourself a shirt, send a picture of yourself in your shirt, and I will add it to the Monkey Shrine, which is also wayofthebrush.com. And of course, you'll find a link for Patreon. A huge, huge thank you to all my patrons for their support. Without you guys and your continued support, and anybody who's new, just wouldn't be able to keep the fancy, colorful lights on and, do this show. And just, I'd actually have to go find a real job. And, so a huge thank you to everybody who allows me to continue to do what it is that I do, which is to sit around and play with my toys. Pew, pew, pew. I can't remember where I was going with this. So a huge thank you to everybody. If you're not able to support monetarily, i.e. money, thumbing up the video, liking, following, subscribing, sharing, ringing the bell, all that, engagement, commenting, all that stuff. It all feeds the algorithm god, and the algorithm god is happy, and, so huge thank you to everybody who does that as well. And all it takes is a couple clicks of a button. That's apparently a couple clicks of a button. It's a Nintendo controller. Everybody's using a Nintendo controller as far as I'm concerned. Big thank you to Carl, aka Guymere Allfair, aka Beer and Blood Bowl. That's his YouTube channel. Check him out if you love yourself some beer and you love yourself some Blood Bowl. Beer and Blood Bowl is where it's at. We always take time to thank Carl, even though he is no longer with us, for taking the time out of his busy day and what was going on with him to create the email jingles that play before the email segments of the show. And so always much love to Carl. And of course, speaking of love, much love to my baby bro Evan for creating the intro, outro music that plays at the begin and end of the show. And so always much love to my baby bro Evan. And if you're into rare comics, rare, like not medium rare, not well done. Like why are we even talking if we're talking well done? Rare. EB Comics is in the description below. Check it out if you're into comics. I'm sure many of you are. Many. Maybe. Big Davis. Thank you, Big Davis, for following on the Twitch side of things. Dr. Santos, hello all. Hello. Kayoma. Hello. Heretic Scott, happy Saturday, monkeys. Happy Saturday to you, Heretic. Heretic Scott is another one on the Twitch side of things. Doing streaming. I haven't seen you stream in a bit. I don't know if you have been, but yeah. So, check him out. Heretic Scott. He's a monkey. He's been a regular monkey for a very long time. Maybe not that long, but for a while. And yeah, he streams. He does the streaming thing, and he's a really good painter. Really, really good. Ghost of Starman Deluxe. Good to be here on this fine Saturday. It is. It's nice. It's sun shining today. Probably right after the show, I'll probably have to take care of knock off a item or two off the honey-do list, but that's okay. Basically, I got hedges that got to get trimmed, and that's not a euphemism. That's not me saying I got to shave up the old pumpkin patch or anything like that. No. Sir Peanut Butter, morning, Kris and Peeps, morning. Nathaniel, there he is. Greetings, Kris and fellow monkey. Long time no see. Yeah, it's been a while, Nathaniel. Sophie Wow. Hey, Kris and Monkeys. 9H, yes, 9. Yes, I saw the post on YouTube. Imperial Fist, Space Marine, I believe. Very nice. Me want. Wow, he card read good. Yeah. The new Imperial Fist, I just got him yesterday. I made a quick little video just unboxing and stuff like that. He's essentially the same as the other Ultramarine. Mind you, though, I swapped out the head, as you may notice in the video, because basically I had two heads done. I had done Dwayne the Rock. I did the Dwayne, and I also did the Henry Cavill. And so now, I can swap them out between the two. In fact, I was even thinking of slapping the yellow helmet onto the Ultramarine. Just for gigs, right? Do Imperial Fists have blue helmets? I know for a while there, some Space Marine chapters, they had like the veterans, right? Get like white helmets. But Ultramarines, did they get yellow helmets? I know Blood Angels get yellow helmets. But anyway. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. I plan on, taking some pretty pics with them. There's all sorts of craziness. Plus, I also have my little Necron. Here's a serious question for everybody out there. Anybody who has picked up any of these McFarlane figures, the painted ones, have you tried stripping them? And if you have tried stripping them, what did you use to strip them? That didn't, because like the plastic that they're made of feels like really bendy, right? Like everything's pretty bendy, obviously because it's an action figure, so it's got to comply to some safety standards and stuff like that, right? Because kids and choking and cutting themselves on corners and stuff like that. Well, although mind you, this spine kind of has some sharp edges. But anyway, anybody out there who has picked up any of these McFarlane figures, or even any other McFarlane figures for that matter, because I'm sure their work process is probably the same across all their products. If you stripped it, what did you use to strip it? Because I was thinking of like an alcohol bath, but that's a lot of alcohol because this guy's pretty big, right? I like his big gun. I was tempted to do the big gun on one of the Space Marines. Immediately, I know, heresy, right? But and I also have the Sister of Battle, and I had picked up the Artist Proof. She's missing her head right now because I was test fitting. I picked up a head to go with this figure, and yeah, so I'm gonna go with that head. Basically, I found a head of Ruby Rose, the actress Ruby Rose, which I thought made a good like face for a for Sister of Battle. There was a few other ones I saw, like Brie Larson, Captain Marvel, where she has the shorter hair. I thought that one was actually a pretty good one. I could see a Sister of Battle, sporting that kind of look. The only one that I found that had I don't know what the hell this it's not a bob cut, is it? Where the hair is kind of cropped off. Like most Sister of Battle, right, have like that haircut. The only head I found that resembles that was one of Natalie Portman when she was a young girl in The Professional, when she was just basically was, I think, her first movie. So it's a little kid, and I don't know if the head would work for Sister of Battle because it's Natalie Portman, and like it's just I don't know. Sister of Battle, I don't really picture Natalie Portman as a Sister of Battle. I'm sure she would make a fine Sister of Battle. But I don't know, like Ruby Rose. Because I only know Ruby Rose from John Wick, the second one. And, she's pretty badass in that. And I thought, yeah, okay, I know who she is. And yeah, she'd make a good Sister of Battle. You know what I mean? Like, I can see her sporting the armor and, being all, with the bolt gun and, slaying heretics and stuff like that, right? So I can immediately imagine her slaying heretics. Just slaying. But anyway, yeah. I'm also waiting on the Intercessor from McFarlane, the artist proof of the Plasma, the Hell Blaster, that Plasma Blaster, whatever the fuck it's called. Yeah, I'm waiting on that one as well. So, but it's an artist proof, and yeah. What else? I don't know. That was it. I'm excited though. I can't remember where else I was going with any of this. Dr. Xantos, Nintendo controller be good? Yeah. Ben McBradbury. Sup, Kris? Sup. Heretic Scott. I was a few days ago trying to be more consistent. Oh, okay. Yeah, I hadn't seen, but mind you though, the last couple weeks I haven't really been on Twitch too much either. Mostly in the evenings, as far as I'm concerned, which is probably like middle of the night for you because you're in Scotland, I believe. So yeah. But anyway, Kevin Cabal. Hello, happening hobbyist, and happy Monkey Day. Happy Monkey Day to you. Nathaniel, episode 343, Nintendo controller, cheat, up, down, down, left, right, A, B, select, start. It's select, start, isn't it? You said start, select. I think it's select, start, isn't it? Or maybe R. Dark Commission, hi, Kris and Monkeys, hi. Keoma, I can link a video in the Discord for you on stripping them, only one I seen. Really, yeah, post it in the Discord. Posted in the, not in the general. Oh, you already posted in the general. Is that, yeah, I guess that's Buddy stripping it down. Okay, I already see it. Okay, yeah. Whatever, yeah, leave it there. That's fine. It's fine. I'll check it out later. Ghost of Starman Deluxe picked up a couple sprues of the War Games Atlantic Lizardmen for some variety alongside the GW Skinks. Nice kit. Very interesting to see Lizardmen with Victorian-style guns and gas mask options. Interesting. Post a link. Or post in Discord. In the general. Since we're just posting crap all over the place. Yeah, post it in the Discord. I'll check it out. Sophie, wow, can't wait to see the sister being painted. Yeah, I'm actually planning on getting started on her right away. Mainly because it's artist proof, and I have some other future ideas that I want to do with the sister. So I do want to get to, painting of her. And a little bit of a spoiler, pretty much the majority of voices said what order to do the figure is Ardent Shroud, which was like basically, and I see a lot of it looks a bit like a Grey Knight color scheme where it's mostly a silver armor with white or red robes. Well, it looks like white on the outside and red on the insides of the robes, which is fine. I like it. And so I'm thinking about it, and a lot of the times I see with on the miniatures when they're doing this like the bright silver armor, there often is this blue cast to the metal. And I was thinking about, basically using some chrome on the figure, but maybe with some little blue casts in it. Spoiler alert, I know, spoiler. But yeah. So I think that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do her Ardent Shroud, and then I'll probably paint up the Ruby Rose head. Cause I got the Ruby Rose head right here. There we go. See, picked it up, and it has it's like hollow, right? And so right now, the problem I'm having, because with the other heads, the Cavill and the Rock, I sculpted the neck guard and a bit of the chin piece that you see Space Marine, and they also have that bar running along the back of their head. Pretty straightforward for a Space Marine, but on Sisters of Battle, I could not find anything that looked like that. It looks like they just kind of have a turtleneck and then put their armor on, which sure, right? But on the way the head is cast and everything like that, I have to have her head, her head can't go up too high because then it looks like she's got a giraffe neck. And yeah, it's just not going to work. So I've got to work out how I'm going to have her head sit in place. And I was worried at first because the head looks really small and the body is really big. But if you've seen the Instagram, the head works really, really well, right? I mean, there, it fits, yeah, her armor is huge, but that's kind of the point, right? Her armor is huge. So yeah. And I dropped her little stand thing. I don't know where that went. Oh, there it is. But anyway, yeah, we'll set that aside. Actually, we better put it back way I had it here so that it doesn't get contaminated with other stuff. Try not to handle it too much as well because, going to be priming it soon enough. And yeah, so I'm thinking that I'm going to get to work on that this week, I think. I might even do some live streams of me putzing around with some of it. I know I've been talking about doing some more live streams, but yeah. Anyway. Boy. Jeez Louise. Thank you. I'm a layboy. Layboy? Layboy? Oh, it's already gone. Thanks for subscribing, buddy. Buddy? That's right, buddy. Need the big flapping head. That's right, buddy. I'm not your guy, buddy. Sophie Wild, can't wait to see the sister being painted. Yeah. Ghost Starman Deluxe. Plus, there are chameleon-style heads, so I don't have to spend a fortune on GW chameleon skanks. Cool. Yeah. I didn't know. Yeah. You said you posted a link, though, eh? Yeah. Heretic Scott. I've been watching episode 119, Crouch and Tau Hidden Chrome. I was under a different username and often just watched and listened. Oh, okay. Ghost, you posted a link? Cool. Okay, I'm just gonna have a quick look. Oh, they look like Star Trek Gorn. if I'm being honest, and why wouldn't I be honest, really? But yeah. Oh, set it to Canada? No, piss off. But yeah, they kind of remind me of Gorn from Star Trek. They look cool. They got like the raptor heads to them. They're more dinosaur-y. Dinosaur. Can we just get some fucking normal pictures? Why does everything gotta move? Oh, for fuck's sakes. Oh, look at this little guy. Looks like he's got like an AK. He's got an AK. Why does he have a fucking AK? Oh, they're plastic too. Oh. Sweet. Interesting. Very, very interesting. Yeah, I was not aware of these kits. Yeah. I'm familiar with Wargame. Because I know... Didn't they have one of... Didn't they have basically a bunch of like Native American box sets? There was like Woodlands and there was some... Or is that somebody else I'm thinking of? That might be somebody else I'm thinking of. But anywho... Sophie, wow, Kris, the sister color scheme you mentioned with the chrome could a blue contrast really thinned out work for the tabletop minis? Yeah, if you just picked up, for example, if you just picked up, lead belcher spray, sprayed all the armor. Say you left all the heads off and all the extra bits that weren't going to be chrome, right? You left those off. You spray them all up the metal. Very lightly. You dry brush Runefang steel, just catch edges and stuff like that. And then thinned out, say, Talisar blue, say 3 thinner to 1 contrast, and applied it. It'd probably give you that slight blue cast, and it would probably it should recede into all the little nooks and crannies and panel lines and stuff like that, and it should give you a look. When playing around with color schemes and you're not sure how a combination is going to work, it's better to work in thinner layers and build up to the desired effect rather than just kind of hammer it on and then go, oh, it didn't work, and then strip the entire thing and then come back. And you know what I mean? Like it's better to have an idea, have an actual kind of, ground foundation for your idea, but build up to it, rather than just going for it. Nothing wrong with going for it, but just don't be surprised that it's not what you were expecting or it's too far, because the hard part about going too far with color is that there's not a lot of easy ways to recede the color once it's down on the surface and fully dried, cured, whatever, right? That's why I always recommend to build up to the effect rather than just, hammer it on, if that makes sense. Nathaniel, regarding the Battle Sister, why not give her a head with a mohawk? Sure, I could have. I mean, Ruby Rose has like the shaved sides and then just like a bit on her top, kind of like what I sport, but it looks better on her. But yeah, it's a similar kind of cut. I don't know what the head is from, but yeah, because here, you know what? Instead of me trying to describe it to y'all, I We'll show y'all. Y'all. Word, y'all. Anyway, let's change the focus a bit here. There we go. All right. So you can kind of see her head, and you can see how that she's shaved on the side of her head, like that. But yeah, that's her. It's Ruby Rose. It's gonna be, and she's got kind of a a still look on her face, right? So yeah. But anyway, that's the plan. She's gonna be my sister of battle, sister o battle, or SOB. See, back in my day, SOB meant son of a bitch. Now it means sister of battle. At least within context of, like, internet discussions that I'm usually part of. So, yeah. Evan Belleau, sup everybody, sup. Ghost of Starman Deluxe. Haven't seen enough of Star Trek to comment on the similarity. Oh. Come on, what kind of nerd are you? You're not up on your Star Trek? Pff, that's weak. That's some weak tea, man. Ryan Gale, love it when you talk dirty, Kris. Why was I talking dirty? I often say so many stupid things that I can't keep track of it. Oftentimes, I'm just saying what's on my brain, and usually, what's on my brain is junk, really. So, sorry, I got eye crusties going on here. It's making me blur up. Don't you hate it when you get like the eye boogie, like it crosses your eyelashes, and so when you open your eye, you get like it's like gummy. It's like that. Don't lie, you've all experienced it. Don't lie. You're all looking at me like you're all judging me. Don't judge me. Dr. Xantos. Oh right, I got a few of those Wargame Atlantic minis. Got 3 free Grognad minis about a year ago. Yeah, I don't... Is it Wargame Atlantic? I thought they were the ones that had the box set. They were like plastic Native Americans, and like there was like woodlands, there was like prairie. Yeah. Because I remember somebody had made a video about how like all the warriors had like all 6-packs and stuff like that. And it's like, is that really realistic? And I was like, well, yeah. All the brothers had fucking 6-packs back in the day. I mean, man, we were starving a quarter of the year. I mean, of course you're gonna get lean during the winter. Winter's a hard time of the year, and in North America, winters are really fucking hard. So, yeah, you're hungry, for a quarter of the year. So, yeah, you're gonna trim up a bit. It's only in the last 200 years that our weight has become a problem because the excess sugars and you know what I mean. And yeah, that's why you see so many Native Americans overweight, diabetes and shit. Yeah. But anyway, Dark Commission. They look a bit like Clegs from early Judge Dredd in 2000 AD. Dr. Xantos, I like painting them. I think I still have them somewhere with a War Machine commander in the same scheme. Oh, really? Ryan Gale, wicked choices. I'd love to see her as a sister of battle. Yeah, like, it's fun. It's fun. I mean, like I said, like I could have just easily went with a Brie Larson head where she, like, what she looked like in, I guess it's Endgame, really. It's not Captain Marvel. She's Captain Marvel, but I mean, like, in Endgame where she has the shorter hair. Yeah. There was a few other. What the hell? The one from Resident Evils. Mila Jabos, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, it was her head as well, but I didn't like how, like, the head sculpt, like, the hair was all scraggly looking, and I was like, I don't know. I mean, she would be a good sister. She'd be a great sister of battle. I could totally see her being a sister of battle. But the head sculpts were just, like, the hair was a little too long and kind of just, it looked kind of, like, manic, so I was just like, no. Whereas, Ruby Rose has that kind of straight, angular face and just, Again, I'm just thinking of her from what I recognize from John Wick, and I know she's in other stuff, and I don't even know like did she start out as a model or was she like always an actress or like I have no idea. I have no idea what she's about. So, but her face and within the context of what I'm doing, it was a good fit. Ghost of Starman Deluxe. I'm a Star Wars fan, not a Trekkie. What can I say? Sure. I suppose when I was younger, I've always been a fan of both because, like, I grew up on Star Wars. And actually, I was into Star Wars before I was into Star Trek. Because, like, when I was small, because I saw Empire Strikes Back in the theater, I saw Return of the Jedi in the theater, I had all the toys and everything like that when I was small. And Next Generation was what I got when I got into Star Trek. And it's actually my mom that got me into Star Trek Next Generation. And it went from there. And then I started watching the original stuff because my dad was a fan of the original stuff. He also enjoyed Next Generation as well. But yeah. So my parents got me into a lot of stuff. My parents are weird. They're weird, as all parents tend to be, right? But invariably, I mean, you know, it stands to reason. I mean, like, you know, kids are going to get into what their parents are into, or the complete opposite, right? But, you know, or find some middle ground, I suppose. But usually, you know, like, I mean, like my son, he's into video games. He's into tabletop gaming and stuff like that. My daughter, she's into art and video gaming, and, you know, so there's influence. Oh, and my daughter's taste in music is more akin to mine, whereas my son is more like his mother. Like, their playlists are just like, pick every genre of music possible from, you know, from the 60s, the 50s and 60s to present day. Take every group, every genre, shuffle it all together, make a random playlist. And that's what their day-to-day playlist is like. So you'll have, like, The Weeknd, then you'll have Slipknot, then you'll have Fleetwood Mac, then you'll have, you know, the Bee Gees, and then you'll have Slayer. You know what I mean? Like, that's what their playlist's like. And it's like, oh my god. Like there's no consistent vibe at all. There's no consistent vibe to that kind of playlist. I don't understand it. I have, like, all my metal in one playlist. I have all my chill out in one playlist. I have all the beats in one playlist. You know what I mean? I have rock in a playlist. Like, I have playlists for genres of music. But, yeah. If you go into my Spotify, all my Spotify playlists should be present. You can kind of see, like, what kind of music I'm about. So, anyway. Sophie Wilde might be a Batwoman model, as she played Batwoman in the first season. Yeah, I vaguely recall seeing that she was supposed to be Batwoman. Because she has, like, bright red hair, right? Something like that. Maybe I'm misremembering. But, yeah. I don't know. I really wasn't concerned. I saw the head. I recognized the actress's name. And I knew her from John Wick. John Wick, she's a pretty badass character in that show. Sister Battle, badass. You know, it's not hard to connect the dots in that kind of logic game. I'm not really into, you know, her personal politics or, you know, what her dietary needs are or anything. I honestly, it has no bearing on my decision to pick her likeness to use on this figure. I don't care. Dr. Xantos, they have multiple eras games. Ryan Gale, LOL, smashing those cobs of corn. Getting ready for winter. Yeah, exactly, right? I mean, like, you know, that's what the brothers are doing. You know, everybody. I mean, like, you know. And then, of course, once spring rolls around, everybody can lose the furs, get back out in the sunshine, you know. They start planting, start hunting, and, you know what I mean? Yeah, everybody's got six packs. Everybody's rocking, you know, all sorts of lean muscles and everything like that. And, yeah, of course, everybody's tan as fuck. So, you know. Yeah. Long black hair. Come on. Somebody's like, ooh, that sounds fun. Bunch of muscly long-haired dudes running around. I'm sure that's somebody's idea of paradise. Well, it's kind of my idea of paradise as well. Not being surrounded by everybody, but just being free like that. Yes. Okay, maybe a little bit. Heretic Scott. I reckon Brienne of Tarth Oh, Gwendoline Christine. Yeah. Would fit Sister really well. Yeah, she would. But, I mean, like, she's really, really tall to begin with. I would imagine her more like... I could see her... If they made, like, a female Stormcast, I could easily see her in that. Like, a likeness of her head in a female Stormcast. That's what I'd imagine. A Sister of Battle, I don't really imagine her in a Sister of Battle. Mainly because, like, yeah, the armor is huge and everything like that, but, like, it's got the tiny little waist. It's, big bump. Jeez Louise. Thank you, Panzer. Yeah, I'm butchering that, but Zier Panzerjäger. I don't know the beginning part. Oh, it's already gone. Sorry, I was. You get it. It's like, is Kris pulling on that? Anyway, Sister Battle. Yeah, I mean, I could see her as a female Stormcast Eternal. Sister Battle, the figure, it suggests more of a petite figure. And I'm not saying the actress is she wouldn't fit that. It's just her armor would be huge to convey that dimension, right? Versus the Stormcast Eternals, where there's just big fuck off armor anyway. And, and of course the actress herself, she's big fuck off woman, so, I really don't see, how it wouldn't work, right? So, yeah. Sir Peanut Butter, speaking of music, I'm liking the new Gojora music, Gojora album. You know what? I don't really listen to Gojora. Gojora. Nathaniel, Chris's has playlists for his playlist. I do have playlists for my playlists and playlists within those playlists. It's like Inception with playlists. That's playlist within a playlist within a playlist. And once you get down to the bottom playlist, you realize that time has actually slowed down to the point where that first playlist, the music sounds like the goddamn Chipmunks. By comparison. No, you do not have to do a lot of drugs to get this fucking far out of your skull. It really does not take that much. Ryan Gale. Haha, too much schnitzel here. Schnitzel, is that how you... No, that's not how you say that. Schwer Panzerjäger? It could be a German curse word for all I know. Here I am just repeating it. Sorry, you had to switch. Oh, okay, you're Ryan Gale. Okay. I had to switch over on to Twitch. Ghost of Starman, am I right in thinking they've only done 40k action figures so far? A little bit odd in my opinion. Yeah, like, it is kind of weird that, we haven't gotten the Stormcast yet. Because they're the poster boys for, and girls, for Age of Sigmar, right? Yeah. And considering that, Age of Sigmar really has been really quite successful, at least anecdotally, it seems like, currently Age of Sigmar is getting all of Games Workshop's attention as far as creativity and design and, the 40k, even the Space Marine stuff is kind of, it's Space Marine stuff and it's cool, but you know what I mean? You're not getting as interesting sculpts. Whereas everything that has come out for Age of Sigmar, the sculpting has just been fantastic. You got all these floating models, which would never have worked back in the day. 20 years ago, producing those models in resin or in pewter would have been an absolute nightmare. But because they can do it in these styrene plastics, you get all these really great floating, like the frickin' buddy there for the Necrons. What the dude, the floaty dude with the wings and the lightning. You wouldn't have got that in resin. Imagine doing that if it was made in resin. For anybody who's worked in resin, imagine doing that model. That'd have been a complete nightmare. Imagine if it was in pewter. My God, I'm already getting anxiety thinking about that. If that model was in pewter back then. I mean, he'd only been about yay big if he was pewter, but still, it would have been a nightmare. But yeah, I'm kind of surprised that McFarlane hasn't done any Stormcast action figures, or or even the Bandai. Mind you, though, I mean the Stormcast stuff, they're going to be pretty darn big because by comparison, Well, I guess as big as a Space Marine, I suppose. Right? I guess. I don't know. But yeah, Stormcast would be cool. If they put out Stormcast, I'd get Stormcast, even though I don't even play them. I painted plenty of them, but I don't play them. I don't play, actually, Age of Sigmar. I've got Ideneth Deepkin. I still haven't touched them. I got my eels sitting on my desk. I've got the thralls behind me here. Yeah, so many projects, so little time. I need an apprentice is what I need. I need an apprentice. Just one. The rule of two. Panzerjäger. Chever Panzerjäger. Chever. Okay. Chever. I'll say it a few more times to sound like a complete numbskull, but Chever. Oh, it means heavy. Oh, okay. So it's a heavy armor hunter? Is that what that would literally translate as? Heavy armor hunter? Yeah? Is that what that translates to? Yeah, you got it? Look at that. Don't even speak a lick of German. And fucking nailed it. I'm winning. I might as well end the stream now because I can't top that. I can't top that. Chever. Okay. Yeah, because I knew the W should be a V sound. Chever. Interesting. Thank you. Learned something new. See, I'm learning too. See, that's what it's all about. It's about learning. I teach you things, you teach me things. It's a circle of life, Simba. Ghost of Starman Deluxe. I watched Godzilla vs. Kong this week. Good movie. I always love big monster punch-ups. Yeah, I mean, like, it's a fun ride. It's a fun ride. You start pulling at the threads, and yeah, the whole thing comes apart. As any fantasy bullshit thing will fall apart under any kind of scrutiny when you start applying logic, right? So you just get you get in the mindset, having fun. Monsters beating each other up. I'm in. Monsters. If you can tolerate monsters punching at each other, you're already most of the way there, right? Don't get caught up in the whole anti-gravity, Middle Earth fucking things, and you know what I mean. Like, yeah, don't worry about that shit. That whatever. Okay, that's what's happening. That's what's happening. Okay, whatever. It's just like Star Wars, Star Trek, right? It's a far future. It's a galaxy far, far away. All right, I'm in. Let's go. You know, hit my ting my mustache. Oh, mustache. Yeah, don't get me started. Anyway, Coma, Void Dragon, the Void Dragon. That's the name of the guy. But could you imagine if that was Resin Reputer? Pff, nightmare. Wouldn't have gotten made. That would not have happened. Chever Panzerjäger. Me neither. I went to Conquest for my fantasy needs. You went to Conquest for my fantasy needs. I don't know what. I'm not sure. Nathaniel. It's translated literally to Hank. Heavy Hank. It's Hank. Fucked it all up. Heavy tank hunter. Yeah, but I thought Panzer meant armor. It doesn't mean tank. Like, the armor, like, literally means armor, doesn't it? Panzer means armor. It doesn't mean tank. We translated it as tank, but because of the usage, but something like that, right? I don't know. What am I, fucking fluent in German? No. All I know is Scheiße. That's it. That's it. Just Scheiße. What's some more good German curse words? Some good ones. Ghost of Starman Deluxe. Same on playing Age of Sigmar. I've picked up a ton of Lizardmen in the past month or two and still have next to no intention of playing. Well, Lizardmen are cool. And Lizardmen, the army of Lizardmen, they, like, their model range is mostly unchanged from fantasy, right? Which means that when they were porting everything over and everything was getting the Age of Sigmar treatment, right, getting converted, the Lizardman army really didn't need it because it was already full of Games Workshop IP, right? Which is why, like, the humans become Stormcast and they become something different, right? You know, the dwarves, well, they become the Fire Slayers. But it's really just basically the troll slayers, right? The rest of the dwarf stuff was left behind because that was all kind of Tolkien, right? But the slayers was an invention. I'm pretty sure it was an invention of Games Workshop, which is why it made that over, right? Because I'm sure that's why they made all these changes to all the factions within, the old fantasy universe, because it was all just borrowed heavily from Tolkien. And of course anybody can just jump on that and make models for it, but nobody can make a Stormcast Eternal, right? Nobody can make a Daughters of Cain, right? Like, that's why. Or at least not easily, without, possibly bringing a lawsuit onto themselves. But yeah. Anyway. Gotta do. Thanks. Grim, thank you. Nice. No pause between the sh and the ver. Shiver. Shiver? I don't see. It doesn't quite roll off the tongue. Shiver. Shiver. Shiver? Like sh-ver? See, I didn't think I was doing the sh-ver. I thought I was just doing shiver. Somebody who's native fucking German speaking is listening to me go on trying to pronounce this, and they're like, what the fuck is this, dude? What is this guy's deal? Shiver. Shiver. Oh, like shiver. Shiver. In today's lesson of teaching German to somebody who barely speaks English, we watch as this man struggles to say heavy in German. Sophie Weil, Age of Sigmar is loads of fun to paint the minis, but fantasy or historical battles are better. It's great for filling mass armies. Sure. Yeah, I mean, like, I get it. I don't know. I prefer skirmish style over block formations, just because fighting big blocks, it's just kind of dumb, because basically that big block could be represented on the tabletop as one model versus like 40k, which is why, like, even way back in the day, I got into 40k over fantasy, because I'm not a big fan of just that big block and then spending a whole bunch of money to make one big unit, versus spending money on, many models that just act independently of each other on the tabletop, more skirmish style, right? As opposed to the big, formations. I don't really find that kind of combat interesting. You get into a lot of these historical recreations, and that kind of stuff. It just, it doesn't really do it for me, which is why when, what was it, 5th edition, the Bretonnian and Lizardmen box came out, and I got into Bretonnians because they had that lance formation, and that was different than everything else, and it conjures up, the Knights of Chivalry and the massive knight charge. And I saw it in one White Dwarf where they had, like, it looked like 40 knights, and they're in one big lance formation, and I was like, fuck yeah, that's the kind of shit I want to see on the tabletop. I want to see this big fuck off unit of, Bretonnian knights charging into the army and slaughtering them en masse. You know what I mean? Like, it just, it's that kind of crap, right? That's when I get really fired up about fantasy type stuff, is when you see different kind of shit like that. Or you get, like, it's like in Lord of the Rings when the Rohirrim come charging in the third movie, Return of the King, right? It's that kind of crap. But anyway. Reinvented Modeler. Ooh. I don't know if I've read that name before, but so welcome. If this is the first time. Anyway, The Mandalorian is more believable, though. The Mandalorian is really good. I enjoy The Mandalorian. I have no idea where it's going to go from here. I'm excited for Book of Boba. I'm hoping Book of Boba is more... Well, because Rodriguez is supposed to be doing the Book of Boba, I'm hoping it's kind of got his, mariachi, desperado kind of vibe to it, where it's just a bunch of bad guys. Everybody just fighting each other. And it's like, who the hell do you root for? Because everybody is a bad guy in the show, right? I'm hoping it's like that. I'm hoping that's why Rodriguez got the job, was because I'm hoping for, Something along those lines. It's just a bunch of scummy and villainous characters trying to screw each other over for our entertainment, right? I'm hoping it's that kind of thing. That's what I'm hoping for. Not that I'm, rooting for it to succeed or failure, but, whatever. Anyway. Reinvented modeler. Fucking conf? Fucking conf? Fucking conf? I don't know what that means. Or is that just, are you making a joke? I don't know. Or did I just say something totally inappropriate? I might have even done that. The beauty of trying to get me to pronounce, words from other languages. I have no idea what they mean, and so I could be saying something completely awful. Go Starman. Yeah, the new one. Fuck, I keep sending messages too early today. Nathaniel, Kris, what level of severity are you looking for in curse words? Severity? I'm not looking for any kind of. I'm talking like casual, like, when you bang your thumb or stub your toe and you're fuck, something like that. That's what I'm looking for. I don't need to, pick anything that is any sort of, phobia or, anything like that, perpetuating stereotypes or, anything like that. Just the kind of normal kind of shit people say when they bang a toe, burn their toast, stuff like that. I don't need to be, put up on trial, for war crimes. Ghost of Starman. But yeah, the only new stuff that comes up for Lizardmen so far have been Scenery Piece, the Underworld's Warband, and upcoming Lord Croak model. Yeah, Lord Croak should be cool. That, yeah. But yeah, like Lizardmen, they pretty much just ported right over, right? And, you change the fluff around as far as, like, what their deal is. Because, I read a bit of the Seraphon story, and they're essentially just, specters. They just look like lizards. They just happen to look like lizards. That's, that's it. They're basically like demons, just look like lizards, so, whatever. It's all, it's all made up bullshit anyway. So, make up whatever you want, right? And that's really the beauty of Age of Sigmar is that, it's completely, open landscape as far as where they want to go with it, what kind of armies they want to introduce. They can introduce anything. They can introduce anything that looks like super sci-fi or super, fantasy barbaric or anything in between, a combination of the two, aliens, demons, you name it. They can throw it in an Age of Sigmar and it'll fit and it'll work, right? It's not like they have to shoehorn it in. I say this example all the time, but like the Deepkin, you wouldn't have gotten that in fantasy. You would not have gotten that army in fantasy. It just wouldn't have happened. Everybody would reject it. Nobody would buy it. Everybody would immediately shit on it. Mainly because fan bases are toxic to begin with. That's of any fan base, really. Warhammer, Age of Sigmar, Star Trek, Star Wars, any fan base, Marvel, whatever. Fans can be very, very toxic. And I think that's really the big problem with franchises is the toxic fan base. It's not the movies that sucks. It's the fans that suck. No fucks given. Sprickensy, what the fuck? No, my favorite was my buddy of mine. He used to use this line all the time, and he would do it in a Sean Connery voice. I can't do a Sean Connery voice, not very well, but he always used to go, "Parlez-vous espagnol?" It just used to crack me up because, he did it so well. Anyway. Dark Commission episode 343, The Man Who Can't Speak German and Never Will. I don't know about never will. German's a very interesting language. My wife's grandmother she's from Switzerland, the German side of Switzerland. So, a lot of German. She still has a very heavy accent, speaks, to family and everything like that. And so there's a lot of roots there. They emigrated over here after the war, which in and of itself can raise an eyebrow for some, but anyway. before I say something stupid. Evan Belleau, episode 343. Channel your inner Tyler Durden. I'm always channeling Durden. Turden. George Hintz. Monkey Power. Reinvented model. Forgot to say, no spoilers, please. Just halfway through season 2. Oh, did I spoil anything? I didn't think I spoiled anything. But yeah, I'm Mandalorian. Oh yeah, love me some Mandalorian. Love me. Like every time it's on, all the time, it's just yeah. I get these little. See, I have a whole bunch of these little alligator clips, and thankfully they have rubber on the ends, so I just hook them on. And they got little sticks on the ends, so I can like tweak them like motorcycle handlebars, and I can just wrench them, just torque right on them. Everybody out there is like, "What the fuck is he talking about?" Good God, man. Good God. Enforcer 357. Kris, are you talking about your struggle? I always make the joke about, because my daughter, she plays Minecraft. I can't remember. It was some awful reference, but I was like, Minecraft with a K, Minecraft. Anyway, it was a bad joke. Lord Krabby, there he is. Sup. Aaron Siege, there he is. Ogres are pretty much a cut over as well. Yeah, ogres as well. Yes, that's definitely one new model and terrain piece. Yeah, but ogres, yeah, because the ogres stuff that was designed by G-Dubs. Yeah, it didn't really the concept of ogre, yeah, it comes from fantasy, but their iteration of it was theirs, and I'm sure that's why they made that port over. Yeah, because like you have Lizardmen, you have ogres. What else is there? Chaos. A lot of the demon stuff. Demons got ported right over, right? Because demons are theirs. Yeah, but anyway, I mean, again, I'm like Age of Sigmar. Like it's fascinating. And the sculpts are. I mean, like I think that's really what is propelling Age of Sigmar forward. Is the creativity behind the sculptures. The rules are subject to change. The rules for the game, 10 years from now, they're not going to resemble what the game is like today. Very unlikely, anyway. But the models, will just get more and more interesting, right? Yeah. It's interesting. Kid at Kris. Do you have any advices for keeping mini surface smooth for photographing? I magnified the images I took, and what I saw is still kind of rough, even with several coats of glazes. Well, okay. For smoothing out the model surface, for when you're really concerned about photographing and you really want to like zoom in on details, like say the model's face, and you're really proud of the work you did on the face, for example. Yeah, when doing it in really, really thin glazes, it's still, even you can get those little minute bumps here and there just because the pigment is collecting. Even working in thin glazes like that, because basically what ends up happening is as you're moving the pigment around, it dries at its edges, and that becomes a clump, and you can end up moving that clump around. And that's some ways. There's many ways that clumps can get into your paint, even at the very thinned out stage. So the really severe way of taking care of that is with like a super, super fine grit sandpaper or like emery board, like super fine, as fine as you can find, like 500, 800,000 grit, right? And lightly, very lightly, no pressure, lightly abrade that surface, and you'll knock those little bumps down, okay? The other way you can go about it is by putting a layer of like gloss medium, thin it down, just a bit of water, right? Just a little bit, and apply a gloss medium over the surface, okay? And then if you want it matte, you just put a matte on top of it. Thin layer. And that can also obscure it, because basically you're introducing another layer, but it's a clear layer, so it shouldn't disturb the underlayer of what you've created, right? So you can basically you can hide the crime with varnish. Now, mind you, you also need to be able to control how you lay paint down on a model surface. If you are not happy with seeing brush strokes on your model surface, like when you angle the light and you can see the bumpiness to the surface, you really need to concentrate on mastering laying down a smooth layer of paint. In a nutshell, it's just alternate your brush strokes between layers. So you lay one layer down left, right on a surface, dries, and then come in and lay another layer down north, south, right? Left, right again. Basically creates a lattice. That's basically what you're doing, right? And that will enable you to lay down a smooth base coat. It's just basically alternate your brush strokes. I'm doing like the fucking dance here. Anyway, yeah. So hopefully, kid, that helps. Yeah, like I said, the very fine sandpaper idea. I've heard of this one. I've done it a few times myself. If you apply any amount of pressure, you end up pulling at the actual layers that you don't want to be pulling at. And so, it's not really a big deal. I mean, if you had a base coat and it had some chunks in it and you were at the base coat phase and you're like, oh, I got this big chunk in there. Yeah. Then using a bit of a fine grit to knock that bump down, perfectly acceptable. Once you've introduced like a bunch of layers of paint, especially if you're glazing, because all you're doing is laying layers of paint on. Glazing is just layering, right? Just very, very thin paint, right? But it's this exact same principle. It's the same. It's just layering paint. And so when you introduce that light abrasion, you can pull those very fine layers off or disturb them and pull apart at sections of them. And you know what I mean? You could just disturb the nice work that you had done. Is all I'm saying. So, yeah. Whereas doing a varnish layer can be more effective. Like a gloss and then lay a matte. As long as it's not bumpy and blah, 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 And of course, you don't lay it too heavily. But yeah. Sophie, Kris doesn't need to save up for minis. He just empties his swear jar on a weekly basis. Yeah, especially if I start swearing in other languages. Nathaniel, when I bump my pinky toe, I usually use... I don't even know what that is. That seems like a really mouthful for just bumping your pinky toe. Enforcer 357. What about those Way of the Brush fan base guys? Heard they're horribly toxic. I would like to think that most of you aren't toxic. At least anybody who's actually paying attention to and being part of this little community that we've created. I'd like to think that most of you are all decent people. Sure, you start teetering off into different directions, but that's fine. Everybody's not the same, and in fact, it's better that we have many varying opinions. But yeah, it doesn't seem like like when somebody asks a question and you just immediately attack them for not knowing. You know what I mean? I can't stand that kind of shit. Or somebody makes a particular choice in usage of material or colors or whatever, and then, oh, no, you know what I mean? Like, you should have been using this, and I don't go in for that either. That's toxic, and, it doesn't help anybody. It doesn't help anybody. Enforcer 357, episode 343. I did not commit any verbal war crimes. Commit. I sound like I was about to bust into a Johnny Carson there. We were looking for commit. You know what? I like it, though. I'm going to use it. But I'm going to change it to commit. Not comment. No. Co-mit. Comite. Fuck. Commute. Committee. Anyway, fuck. It's all fucked up. I'm sorry, I'm just changing the title of the show around here, people. Oh, fuck, I fucked that up. Oh, you'd think this is like my first time or something. Kris, do you stream much? Anyway, where am I here? In the comments. Reinvented Mandalorian. Better than Sex Mate. I don't know about that. It's good. Better than? It's quite a bold claim. I don't know if I'm that bold. I was going to say something, but I better not. Fire Drake 18. I'm a Kurtman fan. Kurtman? I got a feeling that might have been from earlier. I don't know. Evan Belleau. Nobody finished Invincible. He's still kicking. I don't know what we're talking about now. Dark Mission, episode 343, Rubber Tips and Extensions. Great night in. Yeah, you know, just give me the old tweak. Fire 18, I came to spread spoilers. Oh. Okay. Don't spread any spoilers. Yeah. The B-Man, Brandon. Hey. Enforcer 357. You'll have to excuse me, hands are covered in airbrush paint. Okay. James, you know I can't see you, right? You're hearing my voice right now, but I'm not actually in the room with you. Just saying. You know what? Let's jump over to Instagram because we can and we shall. So anybody who's been on, who does the Instagram thing, use the hashtag #WayOfTheBrush, and I'll see it, and I'll feature it in this part. Now, for anybody who doesn't really like to send emails and doesn't want to take time and blah 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 blah, just use the hashtag #WayOfTheBrush, and I'll see it right on Instagram. I don't do it on Twitter or anything like that. I don't do a Twitter segment of the show. Twitter, fucking speaking of toxic, holy shit. Enforcer, or are you? Or am I? Anyway. Oh, wait. Instagram. Fuck, that sucks. Yeah, there's Ruby Rose right there. Right in the middle there. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I think it'll be really cool with a bright silver armor. Red bolt gun casing. I'm thinking I may just go with red for the cloth on the sister battle, but who knows. Anyway, we gotta scroll back here. Anybody who follows the Instagram, yeah. Dylan, you son of a bitch. That was basically what I was going for there. All right, first one immediately gets a like. Immediately, it's the Heretic Scott. Now, Heretic Scott, like I said, he's been twitching and streaming. He's been twitching and streaming, and he's been working on this model for a bit. Ooh, I like the incorporation of the green in the base on the icon, the chaos icon. I like that. I like how it draws the eye in. The eye gets more room to play around. Yeah, I like the transition in the fingers too. Wings look fantastic. I gotta make sure. Am I on the right camera? Yeah, I'm on the right camera. The flesh looks great. Is he done now? It's the Unbound Legion Demon Prince. Is he done now, Heretic? I like the rust. Nice and subtle. Still has lots of shine in the metal. I like the blood. I like how you have that kind of like, it's aged, kind of, just gunked up blood stain on the chain. Oh, is that it for pictures? There's only 3? Aw. I was hoping for more. Damn it. No, I like it. I like it. It's a fun model. It's a fun conversion. Yeah. I think the thigh pads could have been that teal color. Oh, dryer's done. For anybody who wanted to know. Yeah, I think those thigh pads could have been teal as well. But not my model. Looks fantastic though, regardless. Next one. Some Japanese cafe where they have the writing on the wall. They use the hashtag wear the brush as well. Somebody in the Netherlands doing some graffiti. I don't think this has anything to do with it. No, I think we've looked at this though, because I seen that roller design with the glyphs on the blue and blue, the light blue and the dark blue. But I don't think this is related to us. My tag getting hijacked. This is Demon Tho. I speed painted up some CCC from Merc Recon to use in 5 parsecs big bug hunt. Not my best work, but they're table ready. Cool. Oh, let's give it a like. And I kind of want to zoom in, but it's a quick paint job, so I imagine it's probably, yeah, I can kind of see like some of the mold lines. They use that injection process for these kind of plastics. They probably have like a very bendy feeling to them. Oh, we got some close-ups here. Yeah, so I mean, like, we can forgive this kind of stuff because just wanted to get them ready for the tabletop. So it was probably just a quick prime, probably some contrast paints and shade wash, or probably just regular paints, and then just gave the entire thing a wash of like Egg Rector shade or, Army Painter or Strong Tone or something like that, right? Yeah. It looks good though. I think the visors probably could have been picked out a little bit brighter. If I was going to spend any amount of time to be very, very careful, it'd probably be on the visors, just to bring the viewer closer into the face, right? Like, I mean, you really don't want to be drawn in too close because obviously you haven't really, it's not really meant to be, like close-up viewed. It's not like they're being judged or anything like that. Just get them so they look pretty on the tabletop. And this is more than adequate. This is probably better than I can say for a lot of my shit because, I don't get a whole lot of painting done for myself. But it looks good. Nice and fast. And they're ready. And he's playing. And they're happy. Right? Oh, look at this. This is from Evan Belleau. The Assault Intercessor from the Space Wolves. I'm happy with how I've weathered this model. Oh yeah, and he's got the chipped armor on the armor and everything like that. Yeah. The blank face is kind of cool. Is that like a conversion, or do you shave it down, or is it like a 3D print? Oh wait, I gotta give it a like. There we go. Give it the old like-a-roo. Yeah. Yeah, the weathering's nice. I think you could have laid a little bit more of the darker color, because did you do 2 colors? It looks like some of it looks like just silver, but some of it looks like I can see darker color. I think I would have went with a little bit more of the darker color and a little less of the metallic. Just lay a little bit more. And also, don't be uniform in your application. Don't just hit every edge with the sponge to get that, spackling. Be selective. And don't be symmetrical. Because symmetrical also stands out as well when we see that. Whereas, weathering is often not symmetrical. But yeah, that's really good work. Nice stuff. Oh, we've seen this one. Yeah. Because I was asking about the cloth last week. Yeah. Oh, yeah, the dragon. Arturo. I had no idea Buddy sculpted like this. That's fantastic. We're looking at it again, even though we looked at it last week. But yeah. Very cool. Oh, it was only just a few things. Okay. Very well. There we go. That's a good one. I don't remember seeing this one. It's nice and clean. I like the color. Sorry, shaky brush. It had a thumbs up, so I must have saw it. This doesn't look familiar. But apparently I saw it. Shaky brush again. Really nice work. Nice work on that face. Like colors. Probably posted this a long time ago. Yeah, 2020. December 2020. Okay, it wasn't that long ago. Oh, who did this one? Oh, shaky brush again. Jeez. It's got a thumb up, so I had to have looked at it. I don't even know anymore. Yeah, really cool. Very, very cool. So again, yeah. Anybody out there, you feel like sharing your work, hashtag on Instagram, wave the brush. I'll see it. If you post it and I don't give it like a thumb up or a heart or whatever the fuck, don't worry, because I'm usually saving that kind of stuff for the show, right? So that's why I don't do it. And it's also a way for me to keep track of what I've seen and what I haven't seen. Also. Just so you know. Just saying. Where the hell am I? Heretic Scott, he is indeed complete. Okay. I did his gauntlets and thigh pads in a dark brown, as that's the scheme I want across the whole army. More teal may have just red as Alpha Legion or Thousand Sun. Okay. Myself and a friend of mine are working on a showcase reel similar to showcase videos you've done in the past. Cool. Oh, you're going to do like the twirly twirl? Sweet. Yeah. Sweet, sweet. The twirly twirl. The spinny spin. Spinning, spinning, always twirling. Rybo 007. Hey Kris, I have a real quick question on how do you stop paint rubbing off the chrome in your Necron videos? Seal it. After you lay the chrome down, seal it. I preferably with a gloss. Use a gloss sealant. You can always mat it down afterwards or on other areas of the model if need be. But yes, seal it. All those chromes, Molotov, Spastics, All Clad. Who else has a chrome? Probably Vallejo. But yeah, anyway. Yeah, if you want to preserve it, and especially if you plan on, handling, these are game pieces, but you want them to look really great on the tabletop, absolutely. Yeah, put a sealant on them. I would use a gloss sealant, like a gloss varnish. Now you can use an acrylic gloss on top of that paint. It'll sit there fine, no problems. And in fact, in those videos you watch, I'm using Spastics Mirror Chrome, and I use Future Floor Shine, which is essentially just a gloss varnish for your floors, but that's what I use to seal all my models, mainly because I go through so much of the stuff and I gloss. And when you are doing a lot of like oil washes and color shifting paints, transparencies, stuff like that, you're often best to seal between things, just so weathering, anything like that, just to seal between layers, just a thin layer. But yeah, definitely seal it always if you want to preserve that shine. And it'll also make that armor look even more shiny if you have a gloss layer down underneath that, especially if you lay down a good solid chrome layer and you can like see yourself in its reflection. Yeah, you want to preserve that for as long as possible. Derek Luderus. Holy crap, here's a name I haven't read in a while. Twitter is a dumpster fire. Yeah, pretty much. But I mean, almost all of the not so regulated social media stuff is a dumpster fire. Even like YouTube is bad. Twitch can be bad. Anything, any social, any human interaction stuff, because people are shit. So Just saying. Fire Drake 18. All right, I'm back. Who's ready for Invincible spoilers? What's Invincible? I don't know what Invincible is. What are we talking about? I've seen that come up there, Invincible. I don't know what Invincible is. What's Invincible? If it's a TV show, then yeah, I don't watch it. Oi, shitbag. Ribo 007. Thank you. There we go. I need an animation of like, yeah, I think you guys get it. Oh, shit. Anyway, where am I? Reinvented Modeler. Night all, loved the community. Stay safe. You too, Reinvented Modeler. I don't know if I've read that name before, but welcome. Or maybe you've been lurking and just hiding. I don't know. Either way, have a good night. Ribo 007. Cool, thank you. Just saved my Necron armor. Yeah, so seal. After you do, because how I laid it out in that video, use a gloss primer, a gloss black, preferably, but you can also use color. I mean, a red or even a dark or even a mid-tone blue gloss would look pretty cool if you laid that chrome on top, and you probably might get that blue cast. We were just talking about that for the sister. Might have to consider that. Laying down a blue and then laying the chrome on top of it and allowing some of that blue to peek through. See, this is, again, we're learning. We're sharing. We're learning. Right? The beauty with paints and subject matters and stuff like that is all the permutations of what can occur. You know? That's the fun. That's the fun. You know? Anyway. But yeah. How I laid it out. Gloss primer. Lay your metallic down. Seal it. And then you can do other stuff. In fact, I'm pretty sure in that video, I laid the gloss, laid the metal, sealed it, and then I laid the wash on top of that. And then, yeah, pretty sure. I don't think I threw the wash right on top of the chrome. But yeah. But if you that's how I would follow. If you want that chrome to stay nice and chromy, even for a long time, yeah, gloss prime, lay the metal down, let it fully dry, which is why I like the spastics, because the spastics dries within minutes versus Molotov, which can take up to 24 hours. I mean, I've talked about this in the past, but I mean, you lay it on very heavily, like counterintuitively, you lay it very heavy to get a really good chrome. It looks like you're obscuring details and stuff, but you give it 24 hours and it fully reduces down and it adheres like magic to a surface. And it gives you that perfect chrome look, and it looks really fantastic. It is the best chrome, but it's a pain in the ass to work with. And for our miniature needs, for a lot of stuff, especially for some of us who plan on gaming with this stuff, you know, it's not always the best option, in my opinion, and in my experience. But anyway. Frykin. Hey Kris, for Molotov, I just used Vallejo Mecha Air gloss varnish and it took the shine right off. I've ordered all clad as I'm told that is better to keep the mirror effect. Yeah, use the Mecha Air and then it took the shine right off. I'm not sure what happened there. Yeah. I've not used the Vallejo Mecha Air. Is that a solvent based? Because I know Vallejo does make some solvent-based colors. Is that solvent-based or is it a water-based paint? The gloss varnish, again, if it's solvent-based or if it is water-based. I have more success with water-based over solvent-based as far as the clear coats are concerned. Because like the spastic clear coat, man, sometimes it's hit or miss whether or not it goes on nicely. Versus when I use my my go-to, which is Future Floor Shine polish, right? I use that all the time, and yeah, I've got a whole process down, and I know what it looks like when I lay it down, how long I can give it, or if I hit it with a hairdryer and speed up the process a bit. I know that like in 3 or 4 layers of application, I can get it to be mirror smooth, like glass smooth. It looks like glass when I'm done with it. And I like that because I do it for canopies and stuff. Like my Wraith Knight was one example where I'd shown laying a few layers down, and it's perfectly smooth. It looks like a glass canopy underneath the paint job, right? But anyway, yeah. So using All-Clad, yeah, they make a mirror chrome. I've not used All-Clad, but from what I understand, yeah, it's very comparable to the Spastics. But Molotov gives you the best mirror reflection. If clarity is your primary concern, then Molotov is going to give you the best as far as seeing reflection. Giving you a bright, shiny chrome, Spastics and All-Clad appear to be pretty similar. And they're both a solvent-based paint. The Molotov is a solvent-based as well. It appears to be more alcohol-based, whereas like with Spastic and All-Clad, they are more lacquer or enamel-based. So, yeah. But anyway, if you want to go with All-Clad, go with All-Clad. Just make sure that you have respirator and you're well ventilated and all that. And you also need thinners to, if you've never used solvent-based paints before, yeah, you're gonna need to research and study up on all that. Ebb and Flow, at times Invincible is downright satanic bloodbath. Yeah, I still, that's not telling me what Invincible is. What is Invincible? I have no idea. The Prophet. Oh, geez, the Prophet. Just purchased Away the Brush jacket. Stay safe. Oh, well, thank you. I missed that message somehow earlier. Yeah. Awesome. Thank you, Prophet. The Prophet. The Profit. Is it Prophet or Profit? Because he could be like a pro fitness guy, right? Or girl. But yeah. I'm going to say pro fit. And that sounds like people are moving goddamn pianos around upstairs. Anyway, no fucks. In the end, Mark still simps for Amber. He should smashed Eve. Like crushed it? Fire Drinking Teen, if you're not watching Invincible, you're not living life. Well, I'm living life because I'm not watching a lot of TV. I'm going to watch season 1 again and probably buy the comic. Again, I have no idea what's Invincible. Where is it? What channel? What time? And just a quick synopsis of what we're talking about, because I have no idea what Invincible is. I'm completely out of the loop, people, with most things. Man, I can't fucking talk today. Most things. Frackin', I think there was a reaction between the Molotov and the varnish. Yeah, again, like I said, with the Molotov, because I've used Future Floor Shine. Well, I always say Future Floor Shine, but it's Pledge. It has... Oh, this is what I use to... I don't know if you're familiar with this product. You might be in parts of the world where maybe they don't sell this. I don't know, but this is basically just a floor polish, right? It's an acrylic floor polish. It's water-based. It's for the... I mean, don't fucking drink it, but I mean, like, it's mostly, safe, I'd imagine, because it's on our floors and we're touching it all the time. So I'd assume, otherwise people would just dropping dead from this shit. But anyway, it's Pledge. Back in the day, it used to be Future. Future is the one that everybody was going nuts for back in the day. But then Pledge bought out Future. But now it's just Pledge, even though this is still part of the recipe. So newer bottles. Do I have a newer bottle around? Yes, I do. Oh! Here we go. In fact, this one I picked up ages ago. But yeah, it's the same stuff. It just doesn't say Future on the bottle, because Future was what everybody was using, but then Pledge bought them out, and everybody was saying, yeah, it's the same shit. And so I've been using this for many years. I bought this bottle. I don't even know when I bought this bottle. Somebody look it up. When did Pledge buy Future? Because that's around when I bought this bottle. So yeah, it's got to be at least 10 years ago. So I've gone through quite a bit. But I've done like a lot of super heavies for my 40k Eldar army, like my Vampire, my Scorpion, like all my Flyers, all anything gloss, which is almost everything in my Eldar army. Yeah, it gets varnished with this. This is my varnish. This is my gloss varnish. But yeah, I have another bottle sitting here. And yeah, it's the same shit. And in fact, you can see how this still has a lot of the clarity, whereas this, because it's been opened many times, you can see there's almost a yellowing to it. That doesn't appear on the models, that yellowing, because it's such a thin, minute layer that it's not really a huge issue. And then I just use some Windex to clean up my airbrush after using that. Make sure after using that though, make sure that you thoroughly clean your brush. Even pull the needle, wipe it down. Just because many, many times that I've just given it a complete flush, put it away, that I found the trigger sticks a bit. Because basically where the needle comes into where the main housing of the brush, that point there, I find that it collects. And so it makes that needle stick there. So, yeah. Just something to be mindful of. But yeah, I have not had any reaction with that on top of Molotov or Spastics. And yeah, I'm sure that's a water-based acrylic of some sort. What the actual chemical composition of that product is, I could not tell you. It's just a modeler's trick that many use, that many have used for many years. Probably like 20 years people have been using that for their glossing. It was a trick I picked up from scale modelers back when I used to scale model more. Fire Drake at Kris. If you do the movie night, I think Invincible is a good choice. It's on Prime. It's a movie? It's like talking about it like it's a show. Oh, it's a Prime series. Okay. Yeah, I just watched that one. That was it the Tom Clancy one last night. It wasn't bad. I enjoyed it. I want more from this series. The fuck is it called? No Remorse? No Mercy? No Remorse, isn't it? I don't know. Either way, it was good. Buddy from Black Panther, Jordan. What's his name? Anyway. You can see it like I was completely captivated by the whole thing. I like the Tom Clancy stuff, and I enjoyed that one. And yeah, it was fun. Well, it wasn't fun. I mean, it was interesting. It was Tom Clancy. It was interesting. It's a fun ride. Coma. The liquid metal are alcohol based. The metal line are water based. I got both. Kid, Amazon Prime. Yeah. Derek Luderus, your advice on setting up lighting for pictures of gloss models was very helpful. When I get something finished, I'll send more pics. Yeah, please do. Yeah, when setting up the lighting for the gloss models, though, yeah, it can be a bit tricky. You definitely want to diffuse your lights. And if you don't have lights with diffusers on them, you just have regular, bulbs, what have you. Parchment paper, baking sheets, whatever. You can just tack those on over the lights, and that'll diffuse the light. Even like a thin pillowcase, or any kind of white cloth, like thin linen. You can diffuse the light with that. I'm just trying to think what else. Well, for glossy models, also adjusting the bounce on a flash, but we're getting kind of particular at that point. So yeah, really the big one is just diffusing the light. Knocks a lot of the gloss, like the reflectivity of gloss. Yeah, it knocks that back. Because another one you can use is polarizing lens. If you have a polarizer, and that'll penetrate through the gloss layer, and so the light actually just shows right through. Sorry, that was a bit of a whistle out of my mouth. Fire Drake 18. Anybody typing a spoiler-free synopsis for Kris? Yeah, I imagine probably like 5 of you are probably writing down a big long-ass paragraph, and you're all going to send it at the same time, and it's going to be, oh. But yeah, I'm not familiar with Invincible. I have no idea what it is. I have Amazon Prime. Unless it's not in Canada. I don't know. I'm in Canada, so you guys got to remember that too. I have no idea where the rest of you are, but I'm just saying. It's not like a brag. It's not a flex. I'm just saying. Hail Bop. Heyo. Nathaniel. All right, guys, gotta go. See you around. See you later, man. Be good. Be good. For God's sakes, be good. Enforcer, from what I've seen, Invincible is The Boys meets Marvel's Avengers. Oh, really? Interesting. Interesting. I like The Boys. The show. Gotta be careful how you say that sentence. And meats. You James, what? It's the wrong meat. Meats. The Boys meets. Oh, my Lord. That whole sentence. But anyway, yeah, I mean, I'll give it a look-see. Again, I don't like this. May come as a surprise to a lot of you, and maybe not. But I don't really watch a lot of TV. I don't, mainly because I'm doing other things, right? So, yeah, I catch a movie. Usually it's the evenings, and then of course once we get back into football season, that's a lot of football on Sundays, and you know what I mean, like. But yeah, Friday, Saturdays, it's usually movie nights. Weekdays, might watch a show or two. Then it's usually my edibles and then bed. That's pretty much it. Enforcer, fuck, I stand by my crap grammar. I'm not judging, bud. I'm not judging. I'm just saying it's a little hard to read and easily misinterpreted. What time we at? Is that the time? 1:34? Good God, man. Good God. We got to jump to an email then. Let's jump to an email. If you're wearing headphones, turn them up or down because here it comes. It's the element of surprise. Surprise! Email time. Email time. Is it done? This one is from our good buddy Scott Radum. Behold a mini. Won't be on the stream today. Golf season, bro. Gotta get out there and drop darts on those pins, man. I don't know what that means. Drop darts on those pins. I mean, I can understand the pins, but I don't know what dropping darts means. I don't know what that means. That's some sort of golf lingo that I will never understand. Because I'm very unlikely to ever pick up the game of golf. I'll check you out later. Ooh, sounds like a date. Like the Big Titan videos, very cool stuff. Here's the dude from the game Moonstone. Super fun sculpts, fun stuff to paint. I spent an awfully long time trying to get the onions to read as onions and not just little balls of whatever. Hope they do read as onions. One pretty good crit I received was that there was no real focal point, and it sure wasn't the face. I think that's a fair point. The guy who pointed it out recommended a fix of not highlighting the lower half of the model as high, leave it shaded and darker, lightening up towards the face. I also thought that maybe if I had introduced a red to the color area, that might help with color contrast instead of relying purely on value contrast. Fire away any thoughts. And so let's have a look. It's kind of fun. I like the color. Red on the collar? Yeah, I suppose. I don't have any issue with the level of contrast throughout the model. There does need to be some emphasis in the face. I think where you can draw emphasis without too much finagling, yes, that's what I said, is, I think what it is the cheek and the nose. You can introduce a little bit more rosiness into his bottom lip, his cheek, and his nose. Give him just a little bit more of a flushed look. Don't push it too far. Slowly build up to the effect to give him kind of that rosiness. because he does have a bit of a Santa Claus vibe, but hopefully you don't push it that far. Don't go that far, but introduce a little bit more redness into his flesh. As for the onions read as onions. I like that brown green hue you got going on a few of them, and in fact, I like that they all don't have a uniform appearance to them, which helps them read as onion. You highlighted the high points. You created the striations in the surface. Yeah, they read as onions. I mean, they could have been brighter, but not really. I mean, like, realistically, guy, I have no idea why he's carrying a belt of onions, but I'm sure it's for a good reason. No, as far as like overall intensity of highlights and shadows on him, no, I don't feel it needs to be darker on the bottom half. I think just introducing a little bit of redness into his cheek and his nose, pulling, I guess, a bit of intensity out of the leather around his collar might help bring it to that same level as his gloves. You know what I mean? Because like that collar bit looks like black leather, like his gloves. And I think that would help. It would frame his head a little bit better. I wouldn't change it to a red though, or introduce any red. I mean, you could push it towards like a reddy brown, kind of like the handle of his sword, or even his boots or his shoes, whatever they are. That's also a possibility. But I think just introducing some rosiness into his cheeks and his nose and his bottom lip. He looks crazy. This man looks insane. In fact, he does look like a bit of a drunkard. And so if he had like a rosy nose and cheeks, I think that would add to this character, especially since he's got a belt of onions. I don't know why the fuck would you wear a belt of onions? At what point does one wear a belt of onions? Somebody care to explain that one to me? Why on God's green earth would you wear a belt of onions? Unless, of course, you were looking to repel vampires and the opposite sex. I don't know. Like, I'm drawing a blank. But anyway, thank you, Scott, for sending that in. Awesome stuff. Yeah, I think I don't think you need to change anything that you created south of the equator. The onions they read as onions. I like that the color variation, the hints of green along with the brown, because you get some onions that have that little spot of green with the brown, you know. I like that they're not all uniform across the whole belt. I like that some of them are different colored, which, you know, adds to that, you know, kind of natural feeling to this belt. Spitting on myself now. This whole belt of onions. I think just like some rosiness in his cheek, a little bit of not a wino nose, but the one angle of his face, he does look like the kind of guy from stereotypical fantasy and stuff like that, where they have that, you know, missing tooth and they got the big wart on their nose and cheeks, whatever, you know what I mean? And, you know, they're a drunkard, right? So that's what he kind of looks like to me. Is he looks like some sort of drunkard. Of course, I could be projecting, I don't know, but yeah, I think some intensity of red, and not intense red, but just slowly bring up red. Use a magenta or even a red, thinned out a lot, and just slightly shift those colors, just to bring a bit more of a rosiness into his face, just a bit. It's subtle. Hold on. Scott, it is very subtle. There we go. Okay. That's how subtle we're talking, right? Subtle. Fire Drake Invincible is an animated series from Robert Kirkman. Similar to The Boys, it follows a teenager gaining his powers and coping with his heritage and responsibilities and consequences of power. Interesting. Brandon Taylor. What does golf season have to do with anything? I'm currently turkey hunting and I'm able to watch. Cool. Do you, B-Man, do you stalk or do you just sit in a blind? No, I don't. It sounds rude, but I mean, like, because my preferred method is stalking them. But if you're sitting in a blind, I mean, and drinking beers all day, I'd actually be rather doing that. I'll sit in a blind, fucking drinking beers all day, ready to blast a turkey. Dark Commission. I think the critic was jealous. Oh, saying that he needed to increase the contrast in the lower parts. No, I don't know about jealousy. I don't think so. I think they were trying to, offer solutions, and that was one way of offering a solution. Which, I mean, like, it is a solution. It's not like it's not like it was a bad call. Increasing the level of contrast in the lower bit so that more is focused onto the head is one way to go. Personally, you've probably all noticed whenever I'm looking at Scott's stuff, Scott's work is technically very, very good. For Scott to really start pushing the ideas further is he's got to get into the narrative, in my opinion. Creating that narrative of what is going on with that model, diving deep into the essence of what that character is, or whatever the moment is, or you know what I mean? That's often where I'm trying to nudge Scott as far as the advice I offer, because his painting technically is very good. And all the only way he's getting better in that aspect is just more painting, and Scott seems to paint quite a bit, so his work years from now is going to be phenomenal, right? But really kind of getting into the character and bringing life out of that sculpt, I think, is something that a technical painter, at least from in my experience, lacks. They don't bring that character forward. They don't capture the essence, even if it was inspired by a bit of artwork or what have you. It's breathing life into these things. That's an aspect of painting that isn't often discussed, because it's hard to quantify, right? Because we can paint something that technically is really good, or we can actually just kind of just ham-fist the paint on, and sometimes both will look like the similar kind of, will invoke the similar response, right? As far as like how it looks kind of lifelike, or it really represents the character, or you know what I mean? And so being technically very good at painting doesn't always mean that you're creating the best work, right? Because it also depends upon the subject matter as well. The subject matter is a big part of your painted efforts. Now, sometimes the subject matter is not very deep. For example, we're painting blood angels. Well, we already know what color red we're going to use, do this, and we're going to do that, and you know what I mean? And we're just following a script. We're on a very confined, narrow path of, and where our destination is. Now, if our painting isn't up to what we see on the box art or in the magazines, what have you, then we have a goal to shoot for, right? But then once you start getting really kind of farther out, and you're out on the fringes of, mastering your abilities, yeah, things become very hard to quantify. But that's true of almost any aspect of art and expression, right? And it's finding your voice, right? That's a hard one as well, especially in this day and age, because so many people aspire to what other people are doing, and that's not terribly helpful mindset to be in. You know what I mean? Like, there's absolutely nothing wrong with admiring someone like, say, for example, Richard Gray, fantastic artist. His work is beautiful, hands down. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with the work he creates. But there's thousands of people who want to paint just like him. There are hundreds of people who are painting like him because they're learning and studying what he's doing, right? Then there's a dozen or so people who are painting exactly the same as him and are creating paint jobs that look like his work. You know? But then what? Then what? Then you got to ask yourself, well, who are you painting for? Who are you painting for? Right? So, you know. But anyway. Heretic Scott. A lot of character on that model. Yeah, oh yeah. I mean, like, you can totally, totally have some fun with that sculpt. It's really fun. And I mean, like, the goofy face. I mean, like, he's got like that prospector's kind of, like, this picture here. Like, this, it's kind of fucking disturbing, really. But let me zoom in here. I'll show you guys. Well, he does have some. I zoomed in, and he does have some reddish tone, but I think it needs to be a little bit stronger, especially on the cheeks and his bottom lip. But like, this motherfucker looked crazy. Like, yeah, boy, let's go. Especially with his onions all over the place. Man, his breath would smell like holy hell. But anyway, yeah. I'm sure I was busting out all sorts of stereotypes there, I'm sure. Yes, I'm fully aware of it. I am aware. Frykin. Kris, in the UK, the Welsh used to wear leeks in war as a peasant army didn't have uniforms. Really? Just run around with that shit? Jeez. Tough times. The B-Man. Both sit in the blind and run and gun when it's quiet. Run and gun. Dude, I hope you're not running a gun. I mean, I can see it now. And, doing your turkey calls. Running around your gun. Anyway. It's a nice day for it. Well, at least around these parts. I imagine up north it's probably nice too. So, anyway. Evan Belleau. Who among us has not had a hankering for some onion, eaten as one would an apple, during a quest? Also, he is pointing and saying, no, you have onion breath. Yeah, exactly. Dark Commission. Ah, yes, Kris, I see what you mean. I typed without thinking. No, I mean, it's not like... It's not like it was, the person who's, who had commented on Scott's work. I mean, again, even this interaction, right? I mean, me reading your text without whatever inflection, you know what I mean? Like, and that's the problem that we have in modern society, is that we are social animals who, when talking, it's not just simply a verbal exchange. There's also, the other stuff as well. Eye contact and inflection and, you know what I mean? Like, all these other nuanced type of things that are not within the written language, especially when we're texting in shorter forms, right? So, I mean, yeah, no need to apologize, is all I'm saying. The miniature character is probably a master gardener. He really knows his onions. Yeah, I don't know why you would wear a belt of onions. Why? Other than hunting vampires, maybe. No, that's garlic. What am I talking about? That's garlic. Or do onions help as well against vampires? Maybe it's like low grade bear spray versus mace, right? Onions are kind of like the low grade bear spray against vampires, whereas garlic is like mace. I don't know. Anyway, Enforcer. Hoo yeah, boy. Got the onion sack ready for an adventure. He wants to know, B-Man, you saying you just bayonet charged the turkeys? Dude, you should totally film yourself bayonet charging a turkey. If you can make that video happen, I love you long time. All right, let's do another email. This one is from our good buddy Bleep Bloop. Bleep Bloop. It's Death Watch. Oh, great monkey lord, please do excuse my leave of absence. I have been busy enjoying gaming again here in the UK. However, I have done some painting, including getting my Death Watch closer to completion. Attached is the latest finished model, ready to strike down the hated Xenos with psychic murder. CNC is welcome. He is to a reasonable tabletop standard, though I know I could have pushed the cloak contrast a bit more, but wanted it to remain very dark. Many regards. Bleep bloop. Bleep bloop. Bleep. Could we have taken this picture any further? Could we be any further? Anyway. Oh, I like it. Yeah, I mean, it's clean. Straightforward. Yeah, I mean, highlights could go a little further, sure. Yeah, one can always make that criticism. I think, again, I mean, you know, especially for a lot of us who are not as experienced as some of the others, I think the biggest thing that a lot of newer people will always, benefit from is, taking care of the mold lines, making sure your primer's not too heavy, and laying down a nice, smooth, clean base coat. And yeah. It is a dark model, but that's not a bad thing. I like the purple metallic. Did you lay a purple down and then put a contrast on top? Is that what you did? Or did you mix it? Either one, just as good. Yeah. I enjoy it. Bleep bloop. Bloop bloop. Bleep bloop. I think the armor, you could have maybe pushed the highlight a little bit further on the armor. Especially if you were going to stay really dark with the cloak. The armor could have gotten a little bit more treatment. But, it is Death Watch. So it is already pretty dark anyway. Would a Death Watch librarian be blue? Or would he still be black? Blue-black. Would he? I don't even know. Would a Death Watch librarian have blue armor? Or would he have black armor? Right? You tell me. Would even a Tech Brain or Apothecary? Would a Death Watch Apothecary be white armor with that silver shoulder? I don't know. I just don't know. Yeah, I kind of want to see B-Man charging a turkey with a bayonet on the end of his shotgun. Speaking of B-Man, this one is from Brandon. Minutemen. Trying to paint at least one unit a month. The Minutemen. Human Blood Bowl team. During the off-season, the Minutemen keep their skills sharp by joining a Reichland militia. The name Minutemen also is a play on me trying to speed paint. Oh, okay. Then another joke could be made about being a Minuteman. A two-stroke engine, as it were. I think you catch my meaning. I like the icons. You got the little weathering on the armor too. A little bit of blood. Little bit of blood. Colors for team. We looked at the ogre last week, and here's the whole team. Now, are you going about this in a conventional sense, or are you adopting the contrast method of painting these days? Because for speed painting stuff, it's hard to beat contrast as far as quickly getting stuff kind of, painted. Painted well is a different story. I like the blue. Yeah, see, like, altogether, like, I know you were concerned about your ogre last week, but I mean, and amongst the whole of the group, it all works really well. Or did you change it? Did you add more blue into your armor? I don't know. Your email didn't say. Yeah. I dig it, man. I like it. I think for your transfers, you could probably hit it with a matte varnish. Just so that you don't see that glare from the transfer on the matte of the armor. Just hit the entire surface with a matte. And that'll blend that transfer into that surface and make it look like it's, pretty much painted on, essentially. But yeah, good stuff. I like it. You know what? Like, from these pictures, it does look like the armor is more saturated. Did you hit it with another color? Like, to resaturate that blue? Damn it, man. Answer me. Making me angry. I'm getting angry. Dark Commission. Looks like he's walking through a herd of hedgehogs. Enforcer. I believe there was a librarian in one of the Death Watch boxes. Right, but is he painted blue? I don't know. I gotta go over to Games Workshop now. Is there any new releases from Games Workshop this week? No? Yes? No? Death Watch. There we go. View all. I was going to say, how can there be so many Death Watch and it's just like this tiny little ass faction? Yeah, but he's not painted like Death Watch. Artemis. That's a regular librarian. Tech Brain. Where is that box set of Death Watch dudes? No, that's that. Oh, there it is. Yeah, Kill Team Cassius. There we go. When you say there's a librarian, there is a librarian. And he's wearing black. He's black armor. Or is it? Fuck, it's hard to tell. Why is the picture so fuzzy? God damn it. I'm over on the G-Dubs site here. Hold on here. And see if we can find him here. Oh, no, there it was. Boom. Okay, his armor is blue. Or he's got blue elements. It's mostly black with blue. His shoulder pad and his Aegis hood. Aegis hood? Yeah. Is blue. And his little lockbox, his keepsake on his belly is his chastity belt. But the rest of his armor is black. Okay. That's cool. Or is it supposed to be a glow on his Aegis? On his helmet? See, because it looks like the back is black, but like it's got blue coloring on the rim. Like he's supposed to be glowing? Because even on his collar, it looks like it's a little bit of blue. Are you guys seeing this? Yeah, you guys are seeing this, all right? Yeah. I don't know. Either way, it's pretty cool. Make them dance. Dance. Anyway. Everybody's like, what the fuck is he doing? The man's cracked up. Derek Luderus. In Horus Heresy, Tech Marines, Apothecary, and Librarian don't have special paint colors. You just paint them up like everyone else. Okay. But, yeah. Well, this was a Death Watch Librarian that Bleep Bloop had shown. But the armor was still all blue. But I'm pretty sure Death Watch, everything's black. Black with the silver arm. Right? That's how you know they're part of Death Watch. I wasn't sure if Librarians, Tech Marines, and Apothecaries changed that. Oh, you know what? Gee, I'm still on the page. I wonder. Is there an Apothecary in the group? Oh, for fuck's sakes. Kill Team Cassius. It's a pretty cool little collection of duders. It's like a random bunch of dudes. But nobody here, other than the Librarian, looks like a Tech Marine. I mean, the Iron Hand guy, sure. He could be a Tech Marine, I suppose, but not really, because he's just fucking Iron Hands. He's already all mech'd up. Yeah. I don't know. Pretty cool looking models. I like Death Watch. Just the whole premise of it, And in fact, standard kind of encounters as far as, you know, humans encountering Space Marines, that to me seems the most likely of how a human would randomly encounter a Space Marine. Because it seems like it's very unlikely that humans, average human, would run into a Space Marine. But a Death Watch, like one standalone Marine from the Death Watch, is very likely because the Inquisitor's operating all over the place and fucking aliens are everywhere, right? So the Death Watch would actually be very busy. And I would assume that, you know, he's recruiting Marines all the time. He's got like a constant call out to all the chapters, like, I'm in the area, I need some fucking Marines. Who do you got? You know what I mean? Who's on your roster? Who, you know, wants to go on special duties? Who needs, you know, a special pin on his, you know, his ribbon board? You know what I mean? Do Space Marines even have the ribbon board thing? Like, do they have dress uniforms? Do Space Marines have dress uniforms? Because you always see them either in their armor or they're bare ass naked with robes. Do they have like a dress uniform? You know, like the Marine Corps today, they have their field, what they wear out in the field, and then they have their dress uniform, right? Everybody's got dress uniform. Do Space Marines have dress uniforms? Would they even go to a social function, right? I guess is the other question. But I'd imagine for personal ceremonies, you know what I mean? Like when a captain gets promoted or, you know what I mean? Or even funerals, right? If they have funerals. Do they even have funerals? Do Space Marines even have funerals for their fallen brethren? Yeah. Are they normal? Or are they just completely, just stone cold, flat fucking killers? Is that all they are? They're just killers? Then why are so many stories about them? Right? If they're not human, then why are there so many stories about Space Marines? If they're just completely devoid of all humanity, right? Am I going to go on to a bashing Space Marines rant? I could. Holy crap, it's already 4 minutes after 2. We better hurry up and wrap this shit up. Enforcer. I mean, does the Bandai Space Marine count as a new release? The Bandai Space Marines? No. Well, that was what? Man, the Ultramarine or the Imperial Fist. He was. I put the order in for this guy back in what? September? I think it was September. And yeah, he finally showed up. Like that White Scar that was promoted earlier. Yeah, you're probably not getting that till damn near Christmas. I'm assuming. I didn't bother with that one just because there was nothing else to it. It was straight up just a reskin of the Ultramarine. It was just the Ultramarine. He's white with the red bits, and he's got a regular standard bolt rifle, and you know what I mean. Like there was nothing different about him. At least with the Imperial Fist, he came with the big gun with the grenade launcher, and his gun already had a strap and everything like that. I was in. The Salamander, I didn't really care for the Gibbly-Gook on the bolt gun, but that was it for him. It was just the Gibbly-Gook on his gun, and you know, I don't give a shit about that. If they had to put out a Bandai Marine and he had like the Hellblaster, yeah, I would have snapped that up right away. He could have even been an Ultramarine, and I would have snapped that up. You know, so because I do still plan on repainting these guys, although I am enjoying having the blue yellow. That's just kind of fun. Even doing them up as Death Watch would be cool. That'd be cool, actually. Thinking about it now. Anyway. Playing with my toys. Enforcer. I think apothecaries just keep them white helm. Sure. Well, I mean, like, he's obvious apothecary because he's got the big technical doodad thing, right? For extracting your liver or pancreas or whatever the fuck. And his shoulder pad, right? And what else do apothecaries have? Don't they have a backpack with a thingy? So, and a tech marine, same thing, right? He's got the backpack thingy, and he's got his techno doodads. He's got the doodads. So, you know, for doodadding. Enforcer. I think the dress uniforms are their armor or ceremonious robes. So all the Space Marines just walk around in their robes? It's kind of lazy. I mean, that's fucking boring. Either wear your armor or you got a bathrobe. Boring. You know what I mean? Because I mean, like, how can you have a parade with all the Space Marines and not be in their dress uniforms? You know what I mean? Like, they have to have a dress uniform. They have to have it. Space Marines have to have a dress uniform for when they're at functions, because there are points in which Space Marines do have to interact with, people, and you know what I mean? Like, so why wouldn't you have them, have a dress uniform? It just seems kind of dumb. Derek Looters, if Bandai made a Mark 6, I'd get that for sure. Oh yeah, sure. Well, I mean, there are conversion bits for these Space Marines. There's a lot of people doing 3D printing and then, selling, parts. Shop around. But yeah. Because I've seen one, it's for the McFarlane Space Marines, but it would work with the Bandai ones just as well. You probably just have to create a new coupling for the head, because they don't line up the same. But anyway, yeah, there's Mark 6. There's Mark 6 helmet. There was 2. This one guy has 2 helmets, one with a bionic eye and one with a regular. Oh, and it's got no studs on the head. But yeah, anyway. Hail Bop, I'm probably going to get the White Scar since I don't have any of the others. Death Watch Apothecary has black armor. There's one Death Watch combat patrol box. Is he an See, I was just on the fucking site. Yeah, there's the Cassius, the Kill Team Cassius. It's got the White Scar biker dude. It's got a Blood Angel backpack dude, Raven Guard backpack dude, Librarian, Space Wolf, Imperial Fist with looks like a honkin' Mega Bolter thing, whatever. The Dark Angel duder, Ultramarine, Iron Hand dude. Is the Iron Hand a medic? I wouldn't trust an Iron Hand medic. He's all bionic. He'd be looking for some excuse to throw fucking robot bits on you. I broke my finger. We're going to have to replace your arm. What? No. Salamander, who invariably has a flamethrower. And then another Ultramarine duder who's I guess a chaplain. But I don't see a medic. Or unless he is the medic. Maybe the Iron Hand is the medic. But he doesn't have the whole doodad thing on him. Where is he? Here we go. Because he's got a lamp on him, but I assume that's just because he's Iron Hand. Oh, for fuck's sakes. Yeah, this is here, hold on. I know we're getting really nitty gritty here, but I mean, he's got the robot leg. He's holding a clip of ammo. And he's got that little lamp on his arm, but I assume that's because he's Iron Hand. Yeah. I don't know. This guy doesn't look like a medic to me. What about this dude? Yeah, he doesn't look like a medic either. Blood Angel? No. Flamethrower duder? No. Dark Angel duder? No. Biker? No. Killer mustache, dude. Space Wolf? He medic? Nope. Librarian? He's definitely a librarian. Doodads? Is he a librarian? Or a fucking medic? Nope. See, he's a chaplain. I get that because he's got a Crozius. Right? So we get that. He's not a medic. I don't see many medics wielding these big fucking grenade launcher, Hellbolt, or fucking whatever the fuck it is. But yeah. I don't know. Unless there's another character out there. The Kill Team? I don't see anybody who looks like a medic on a Kill Team. I see a dude with a shield, big fuck off hammer, flamethrower bolter combo, a heavy bolter flamer combo, guy with the sword, guy in the plasma bolter combo thingy. Their bolters actually look like the old school bolters, like Rogue Trader era. That's kind of cool. Points for that. Points. They get points. G-Dubs gets points. Like, I'm sure G-Dubs really gives a shit what if I'm giving them points or not. But yeah, there are Death Watch who are medics, but nothing that I'm seeing like specifically Death Watch, medic. Yeah. Because you can even have these Blade Guard veterans as Death Watch. That's kind of cool. Anyway. Yeah, I didn't see any apothecaries as medics. Death Watch Watchmaster. Death Watch Watchmaster? It might sound like you have like a stutter there. Actually, is his arm the medic thing? His arm almost looks like it's the medic thing. Call me nuts, but that thing on his arm, does that not look like the apothecary's fucking, what is it, Narthicalarium or what the fuck it's called? But he's got a big halberd. What kind of medic's running around with a halberd? I don't think he's a medic. Let's look at the sprue. No, that looks like some sort of cipher or something on his arm. I don't know what that is. Maybe for picking locks. I have no idea. I don't know. Hey, Star Wars. Enforcer. Yeah, they're like zealot warrior monks, and for the parades, they're just armor, I think. So their combat armor is just their dress armor. Well, then that means that, like, they'd have to get all spiffied up from combat, right? That could take a long time, especially if you're bringing out the whole chapter for a parade, you know? You got to make everybody's armor look nice. Can't just show up with, you know, bolter and blood splatters all over the place and, you know, chipped armor and parts missing. You know, you got to make them look good. It's the whole point. Hail Bob, the combat patrol box, no Cassius, not. Well, that was I was on the GW sites and I was Death Watch. I only saw an apothecary model. But it was the standard apothecary. I don't know. Derek Luders, every chapter has different culture outside of combat. Sure. But do they have dress uniforms? That's my question. Enforcer, points for Griffin Workshop. Points for Griffin Workshop. James, you're killing me, man. You're killing me, man. You're killing me. Alrighty. What time? Holy cramoles. We better end this up. We better wrap this up here. This one's from our good buddy Eldari Lamborghini. Some finished projects. With all the lockdown in Ontario, I have been getting way more painting done lately. I catch the shows afterwards now, trying to get outside more on the weekends, now that there is nothing else to do. I've attached a few pictures of my Scenari? I always say Scenari. Is it Scenari? Cathalar with the white sheer dress. I posted a few pictures on Discord, but all know the Saturday show is the hashtag real deal. I've also added a few of my recently completed Dire Chasm warband of Daughters of Cain. And so here is his Scenari Caliphate. I like the smoke. I like what you did with the smoke there. Did you lay an iridescent medium on top of that smoke? Or is it just the way the light's catching on that surface? Because it looks like almost like an iridescent medium is on that smoke, like an interference color. Interesting. Zach had posted the question a while back about painting this model, which is why I painted the model for Fresh Tips, for painting the sheer dress. I think initially he was asking about doing the veil, but then I just did the whole dress and the veil. Really nice work, though. Very, very good. I like that smoke, though. I like the color scheme overall. It's very soft, yet with the gold and red. Ties in with the rest of your faction very nicely. I like that. Oh. Yeah, I dig it. Oh, I like the little crystals on the base. It's fun. Ooh, some, was it Dire Chasm? Daughters of Cain. Very, very cool. Yeah, if you just need a fix of, like, some of the flavors of sculpts for Age of Sigmar, you can just get the Dire Chasm stuff, right? Like the, what is it, Warcry? No. Is it Warcry? Or is it Underworlds? I can't remember. But either way, these little box sets that have just a few, just a select, but they're original sculpts, but, they give you a little taste of like what the actual big army is like, It's kind of cool. I like the little tattoo on her leg. That's cool. On all the models, the blood, well, at least from that angle there, like this angle here, it feels kind of uniform versus like here. I think like kind of picking a point at which, the blood would splatter, I think would read a little bit better. Like, for example, with this model here, if the blood was gathered on the end of her weapon, like you did have it there, but also on her knee, because it looks like she's leading in with her knee and smacking somebody, right? And so if the blood splatter kind of came up just on that one leg towards her midriff, right, and it gave you that little indication of a splatter there, like she just, smacked somebody. And then, of course, on the weapon, hand weapon, also just a little bit on the side of the face and maybe on the hand, But like being a little bit selective as far as like where, blood is catching, right? Yeah, like here you see like, you have it like all over her hair, and it doesn't feel entirely necessary in that instance. Very, very cool. Yeah, these are fun sculpts. I like that one with the whip. That's leaping. I like that one. That's fun. Like she's doing some parkour or something like that and just gonna knee bash somebody. You fucking want one? Thank you, Zach, for sending that in. Awesome stuff. Yeah. Scenario looks fantastic. The daughters here look really, really good. I've seen a few other posts he had made on the Grams side of thing. Yeah, I think just really when you're doing the blood. So, for example, like the main character with the light green hair, she's got the halberd and the cup. In the future, if you're going to do that kind of splattering on the model, I would take like silly putty well, there's various ways of masking. Silly putty is, in this instance, would probably be my go-to, just because you can, shape it organically and do it very quickly. But I would mask out the hair, and then from the cup and off to an angle. So like, she's holding the cup up. Maybe the cup is kind of like splurting out blood or whatever, right? Or whoever she halberded, you know what I mean? Like, imagine. Right? Like, again, when we were talking earlier, like about Scott's work, right? About getting into the narrative and telling a story through the piece, right? It's kind of the point where when we apply just a teensy amount of logic to something, right? So, for example, like her with the cup, you could actually have the cup running with blood down her hand. Not the whole way, but just like, you see a couple clear runs running down her arm, right? Her arm with the halberd that has the blood on it. Would blood gather on the whole blade, or would it be up near the top of the blade and then run down after she poked somebody with it, right? And then if she was splattered in the bit of the blood, would it be the entirety of her, or would it be the arm in which, she halberd? And so if she halberd somebody, wouldn't there be just a little bit of spray on, say, that side, because she would lead that way, most likely? I mean, using a big two-handed weapon while your other hand is holding a cup does not seem terribly efficient to me. But again, not reading in any of the logic, right? Yeah, I would try and keep most of the blood out of the hair. And in fact, yeah, I would just mask off that hair. Whenever, like, if you're going to do something like this again, yeah, I would mask off the hair, create a little bit of blood splatters, and then take the mask off and, yeah, go. I mean, if you really wanted to, convey the sense that there's blood matted into the hair, well, it wouldn't simply look like just a big splotch on the hair. It would look more like a run in the hair, right? or it would add to that clumpiness. So like the ends of the hair would have red. Well, it actually would look more like dried blood, right? And it would taper down into the hair, and you know what I mean, like, and that would give them the very bloody appearance, if that's what your goal was. But yeah, but thank you, Zach, for sending that in. Awesome stuff. I always enjoy your posts, and a huge thank you for submitting that. Sorry, I'm just cleaning up some of my crap here. Just cleaning up crap. What time we at here? 22 minutes OT. Jeez Louise. Hail Bob. Stars. I don't know. Did you swear? Were you swearing? Were you trying to drop a slur? Dark Commission. Nice and subtle with a great see-through cloth. Yes. See-through cloth is a lot of fun. The last, when I was doing the same model and demonstrating sheer cloth, that's really the second or third time that I've done sheer cloth on a model, and I was quite pleased with the last iteration. And in fact, again, if I do it on another model, I'm sure that model would be an even better example of it, and so on and so forth. The more you do it right, the better you get at it. And yeah, and it was something that I'd always wanted to try, and yeah, it was a good excuse to do that, because the model was pretty much sculpted for it, really. I mean, you could paint that model so that dress looked completely see-through and just paint like essentially a naked figure inside that dress. That would be really cool. It would be tough. I mean, you could do it if you did it kind of like a diorama where you had like the background, like there was a backdrop to the model. Like if you're doing it kind of like a mini diorama and you did the backdrop, and then so you painted the dress so that you can see the elements behind her, right? That would really convey the sense that that dress was see-through. Yeah, that would be really cool. Hail Bob, no idea. Yeah. Are you trying to drop the hard R or what? Hail, come on, man. Were you trying to drop the hard R? Don't drop the hard R. It's a bad look. Bad form. It's bad form. I'm actually going to start right there into the ending spiel because I don't need anybody trying to drop the hard R into the chat today. Actually, it's very rare. I don't know if anybody actually has. I know some people have come in just trolls, which is why, like on Twitch, I have it just as subscriber only, just to stop, schmoes from coming in and, trying to fuck things up for the rest of us. Speaking of fucking things up, if you have any questions, you need some help on your color scheme, maybe you want commission painting service, you want to show off what you're working on, whatever it is, you just want to share whatever you're doing, send your emails to Kris@wayofthebrush.com. If you're going to send pictures, send them as attachments in the email. Don't send it off as links to other sites, because it won't do it. So, send it there. It's in the description below, as well as a link to wayofthebrush.com. Central hub of all this silliness has links to all the social medias, as well as Discord. Join us on Discord. It's a lot of fun. We keep the conversation rolling there 24/7. So if you absolutely need your question answered, or you really want to show off what you're working on, or you just want to just chat, join us on Discord. It's open to anything and everything. Only one rule: don't be a dick. That's it. That's the only rule. Don't be a dick. And you have to be a major screw-up. To get kicked from my Discord. You have to be a pretty big screw-up. Just saying. There's only a few. It's a very short list. It's a very short list of people who have been banned from my server. It's a very short list. But there is a list. Just do not be one of those people. Also at wayofthebrush.com is links for t-shirts. Get a t-shirt. Look like a connoisseur of all that is good and holy in this world. They're wearing a Way of the Brush t-shirt. And of course, if you purchase yourself a shirt, send a picture of yourself in your shirt, and I will add it to the Monkey Shrine, which is also at wayofthebrush.com. And of course, you'll also find a link for Patreon. Huge thank you to all my patrons. Without your support, this channel would not be able to survive. I would have to go and find regular work and be a regular schlub, digging ditches or who knows what. Probably a gigolo. I'd probably have to be a gigolo, I think. Selling my ass on the internet, or starting up OnlyFans, wiggling my bum for people to throw money at me. This is probably the worst ending spiel I've done in a while. So, huge thank you to all my patrons. Again, there's links also in the description below as well for Patreon. Huge thank you. Huge. If you're not able to support monetarily, i.e. money, thumbing up the video, liking, following, subscribing, sharing, ringing the bell, commenting, all that stuff. All the interactions with the video. Like, just interact with it. Like, just, you know, like a Rubik's Cube. Just interact with it. I don't know. Anyway. It all appeases the algorithm god. So huge thank you to everybody who does that as well. Big thank you to Carl, Guy Mirror Offer, Beer and Blood Bowl. Check it out. Taking the time, thank Carl, even though he is no longer with us, for taking the time out of his busy day to create the email jingle that plays before the email segments of the show. And so always much love to Carl. And of course, speaking of love, much love to my baby brother Evan for creating the intro, outro music that plays at the begin and end of the show, which of course he has made some new music for this whole goofy thing that I do. He's made more music. He hasn't refined it yet, but he's on it. And yeah, one of the spoiler, one of the talking points that we had bounced back and forth was making it a little bit shorter. So and also sound bitey type size. So yeah, but it's in the works. It's in the development. So big thank you to my baby brother Evan. EB Comics. It's in the description below. Check it out. If you're into comics and into rare. Not medium rare, not well done. Rare. Like still mooing. You can still smell whatever tree that the paper was made from. That's how rare the comics are. No, that's wrong. I got any parting words of wisdom, Enforcer? You got to be worse than me. You got to be worse than me. I've got to be worse. Yeah, I probably am. No, I'm willing to bet I am worse than you. I've gotten like, dude, I'm like twice your age. I've lived twice as long as you. You would have to fuck up twice as much to be equal to me. That's a lot of fucking up, dude. That's a lot of fucking up. Alrighty. Take care of your brushes. They'll take care of you, and I will see you guys next week. Well, we can't say definitely I'll see you next week because, I mean, we don't know what happens next week. We don't even know if there'll be another next week. We don't even know. Spouting crazy ideas, I know. All right. Go enjoy the rest of your Saturday. Go get something done. Hug a loved one. Stay safe. And, yeah, soon enough we will be able to gather again. Like Voltron. We'll all combine into make one mega robot. Megazord. Fuck, I don't. All right. Love it.